Hey guys, I just listened to a great CD, Bambo Kino, which was produced by a good friend of mine from Youngstown, Mark Buccilli, great bass player. Sent it to me, I listened to it, I really think it's great. My favorite cut is a little this, a little that, and I just think that everybody should get a hold of this and take a listen. Put together some great musicians from the Youngstown, Pittsburgh area. They've got a new CD coming out at Christmas called Ecto Perfect. Check it out. I think you're really going to like it.
And that is my friend, Tom and Chris.
Welcome to the show, everybody, for another edition of Tom and Chris TV. Our guest and back with us for another show is Bambo Kino with his new CD, Ecto Perfecto. So how you been?
Tommy, I'm doing great.
You're a busy man.
Well, some things have been happening. Nothing major or nothing, but yeah, things are kind of going, man. I'm working on the new CD.
Oh.
I got my new bass. We can pull it out later if you like. We can
Yeah,
show
love
the
to
audience.
see it. I've seen it. And I got to tell you, folks, this bass is like no other I have ever seen in person or heard.
It's a nice bass, yeah.
It's got an unbelievable sound.
We did a session for Tommy the other day.
Yeah.
Went right into the board, recorded it flat, man, and what a good tune called Sugar.
And I didn't even need to EQ it.
Really? Nice song,
Straight in.
Tommy.
Thank you.
That's old school soul, heavy tune form, man. That's us.
Speaking of bass,
Yeah.
you made Bass Player Magazine.
Tommy, it was amazing what happened there. Yeah.
And here it is.
There it is, the September issue,
You want to get a close-up of that one?
Bass Player
Sure.
Magazine.
This is, features Bambo Kino in it.
It's in the, yeah, if I may, about 8-9 months ago, I went for this to get into this thing called the Real World. It's a profile of local everyday bass players, right?
Uh-huh.
So all you do is you get online, you fill out a form, and the quotes in there are exactly what I said in this form, and I sent a picture in. And then after that, that stuff goes, So I don't hear nothing from
Never hear from anybody
never
again.
from nobody. So I figured, I tried, right?
Yeah.
So this past Tuesday, now I hear nothing from nobody at Bass Player Magazine, not even a go blow your nose, nothing, right? And I come home. This was in the mailbox. I took it out, threw it on the kitchen table, went out to dinner with my brother-in-law. Come home. I said, I'm going to go look at this.
Hey, show us the where you're in this magazine, exactly where you're featured.
Okay,
what
and
it says.
here's what I did. I'm sitting down on the chair looking. Oh, here's nice. That's nice. Okay. Oh my God!
There he is.
Look!
Mr. Bambo Kino.
Tommy, there he is.
Now you got to get a close-up of this. A Bass Player Magazine featuring, there's the shot of Bambo there.
Yeah, and yeah, they say Bambo Kino, Youngstown, Ohio, all that stuff.
How about that?
Very nice break. Very
Probably the first and only bass player from Youngstown, Ohio that's ever been featured in Bass Player. No?
I don't know, but I'm glad it was me.
Yeah.
Just, the luck of the draw. You know what I got to think, Tommy? See, they didn't hear any music, okay? But I put the Bambo Kino, website in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume, okay, that they went and listened and that helped them make their choice. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But anyway, that's
great.
That's free
That's quite an
publicity.
accomplishment.
That's a worldwide magazine.
You know why? You're going after it.
I'm trying.
You're asserting yourself.
Well, I'm trying, and
Now, that's what you got to do in this
I know.
business, or in any business.
that's even more important than the talent you have. You got to go out there and fight for stuff.
Well, you
Be
got that
persistent.
right.
You
got
And
that right.
That was a nice little break.
So, and they picked you based on what your
I think my looks. Handsome guy.
Why didn't I know that?
No.
I should have guessed that.
Tom, I don't know how they chose me. I don't know what the criteria was. Now, this is a monthly feature called The Real World, and there's 12 issues a year, and they pick 12 people a year.
Okay.
So that's a
I
pretty
wonder how
decent
many
break.
guys send the things in.
Who knows?
The submissions.
I don't know. I mean, hundreds?
That's amazing.
Whatever.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Tommy.
Very
That's
nice.
a compliment coming from you, my friend.
Beautiful job.
Thank you.
You're also on Django. Django is a, tell the people what Django is.
Django
is.
Radio Airplay is a internet radio service, and I got on it the end of June. And I'm not doing anything spectacular, but I'm starting to build a little bit in Europe and Latin America, because you know how that works. They send you reports.
Right.
And with all this internet stuff now, you get people's pictures and all this stuff, so that's kind of inspiring. I mean, but the United States, not a lot.
Yeah.
But Europe and Latin America, it seems, I'm getting some.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
For some reason in Europe, jazz fusion music, progressive music, music that has developed kind of like its own culture,
Yeah.
or developed a life of its own, so to speak, is much bigger in Europe than it is here.
Yeah, I think it's always been like that. Even when you go back to like Miles Davis,
Right, and even before Miles.
all
back
those
in
guys.
the 30s and 20s.
Yeah, and
Jazz cats were going to Europe.
because they were accepted over there,
Right.
and they were really appreciated for their talent. But
We know those countries over there have been developing cultures for thousands of years.
Yeah,
The United States is still a baby. It's
Yeah.
an embryo. I mean,
Right.
we've only been together, 200 years?
yeah,
You know,
right.
that's nothing in terms of developing
Yeah.
culture. So who knows? We won't be around to see.
No, we may not. I may not be around at 6 o'clock.
We may not see Christmas.
I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know.
Well, hey, when you get
Yeah.
to this age, anything can happen.
Well, that's why you got to have fun.
Yeah.
And just don't worry about it.
That's why you're asserting yourself.
I'm doing the best I can.
That clock is ticking, baby.
Oh, every day.
The timekeeper. So back to Django.
Okay.
Django was how that works is you sign on.
Yes.
At the freebie part is they give you like 100.
They give you 100.
Yeah.
And then you make up your mind what you want to do, and then you got to go do what you got to do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I'm in it now. We'll just let it ride.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, Tom. I mean, I look at this and I look at the reports and I look at them and I go, see, I'm so old-fashioned and old school. I just don't realize the internet and its potential and the reach and all that. So we'll give it a shot. If something happens, cool. If not,
Hey, why
we
not?
ain't gonna worry about that stuff.
We talked about jazz fusion outside the U.S. Let's talk about your CD now. Your new CD called Ecto
Perfecto.
Now, ecto means
That's ectoplasma. That's in Ghostbusters. I don't know what.
that's where I thought you got it from.
I'll bet you do this, though. I bet you just like a sound of a word or the way it looks printed. And that's Ecto Perfecto.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking Mr. Perfecto, and I went, nah.
Ecto
It
Perfecto.
just
Jumped in your brain?
I jumped somewhere. I don't know. Ecto Perfecto.
Okay.
Well, there was, when I was in grade school, and I'm not going to go into detail, but there was a kid I went to grade school with. His name was Perfecto. I always,
kidding?
yes.
That was his real name?
That was his real name, Perfecto. And I love that name. It's a great name.
I wonder if he went on to become, a professor or a doctor.
I don't know. I don't know where he is.
That sounds like a name that you'd see it in a James Bond movie.
It's a
Dr.
cigar.
Perfecto.
It's a cigar. Perfecto cigar.
That's right. I forgot about the
I don't know.
cigars.
But
I
yeah,
don't smoke cigars.
I don't either.
You know what I used to smoke was the Swisher Sweets.
Yeah.
When we were kids,
Yeah.
we smoked the
Yeah.
Swisher Sweets with the little plastic thing on the end.
Well, that was cool.
And I used to toke those puppies down to the plastic. I mean, I loved them. And then we graduated to bourbon and White Owls.
White Owls. I remember that.
And we
Have a
used to
Tampa?
sip
Remember Have a
Tampa. We used to sip bourbon and hit those White Owls.
We used to drink a quart of Colt and a fifth of Crown. We went into outer space when we were kids.
Colt and Crown?
Oh, yeah. No. I'm sorry. Colt and Ripple. I'm sorry. Ripple. Remember Ripple? Pagan Pink on it?
Do I remember?
Is this okay to say? This is a family show.
Well,
Okay. All right,
There's a
parents,
lot of
turn this off for the kid.
If you watch TV now, and it'll say 14 F family 14, and they're all cussing in there.
Yeah, I know.
On TV now.
Yeah. And the things they're doing, I mean, it's whatever. So I guess we're okay.
I'm not a big fan of reality TV.
Oh no, I can't.
I really am not.
You're talking American Graffiti, how you grew up.
What's that, Pammy? Speak up.
You're talking American Graffiti, how you grew up back in those days.
Well, we're old school.
We're old.
What are we gonna do? It's
times.
you are what you are, right?
It is what it is.
And by the way, people, you got to come down and visit us because Pammy's doing theme murals all over the studio here.
And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous down there. I love this place.
And you can stop by anytime and say hey. Introduce yourself. We're at 5234 in the Think Through building on Southern Boulevard, 5234 Southern Boulevard. Anyway, getting back to Mark, a.k.a. Bambo. So we talked about the name, 6 songs on the CD.
Yeah, 6 songs.
And you want to talk about the songs?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. I think I kind of went up a little. I got my same great guys. John Safara plays his songs. Tommy Ruggieri plays his. Jimmy Meese, Dennis Augusta, Eric DeFade's back. I'm going to be working with a couple young guys, Dana graduates. They both have masters. A kid named John Anthony plays guitar, and I can't remember his buddy's name, but he plays trumpet. And we're really going into some different kind of places. One of the songs, Ecto Perfecto, is kind of like a Latin jazzy thing. And John Safara was in the studio when we did it, and he goes, Mark, I hear percussion. I said, do it, man. And he just came back with this wonderful percussion part, done electronically sampled and all that, so we can manipulate if we need to. But it was so tasteful. I don't care what we do to that song. Nothing he did will get in the way. And I always wanted to do that, and it just worked out.
Now, your first CD, American Deluxe.
Yeah.
You feel better about this CD than that one?
I think I grew. I think I'm improving a little bit. As a matter of fact, I brought a rough mix of American Angels in Motion. Just like a bebop kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I think I did okay with this one too. Yeah, everything's okay. I feel
good luck with it.
Thank you.
And you're getting airplay on Django already with it?
No, just with the old one. No, this one isn't done yet.
Okay.
I still got to finish. And I got this new bass that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a song, and I want to tell you a story about this, if I may. This song's just going to be me playing the bass, okay? And with that fifth string, which is tuned E to C, it opens everything up chord-wise, melodically. I wrote the song about a week ago, and I'm satisfied. I still need to tweak it and learn it. But I named it Alecia.
Mm-hmm.
Alecia.
Now, this is the bass feature song.
Yeah, this is going to be strictly me on the bass, and
Just
that's it.
bass.
That's it, one track, just me.
How long is this track now?
The track that this one, it's about 3 minutes and 20 seconds. That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a pretty simple song, but I'm just doing a lot of these chords. And it's more like a mood thing than no fast notes, none of all that stuff. Just nice chords, because that fifth string really, Tommy, really opens things up. So I'm thinking, what am I going to name this? I always like the word Alecia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, history buffs are going to know this. Okay, Alecia is an ancient word from the ancient world.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it became
Roman, Greek origins?
Roman. See,
okay.
you know your history.
Mm.
Alecia was in Gaul. Now,
Okay.
Gaul is modern France.
Right.
Now, this took place in 52 BC.
You know how they got their name?
Huh.
The French?
What?
Well, when Caesar went there, Julius Caesar
Yeah.
went there to conquer France.
Yeah.
And he said, the gall of these people.
You're a comedian. This guy's funny.
Bada boom, bada bing.
We needed a drum roll on that.
So anyway,
We got you off the beaten track. Go ahead. See if you can gather where you were.
I know where I am. Okay.
Okay.
So, now I love history. I love Roman history. I like all kind of history. So Julius Caesar spends 8 or 9 years in Gaul trying to conquer Gaul. Okay. And the way things worked back then, if you were a soldier and you went out and brought glory to the empire, you moved up politically, and Caesar had his ambitions just to be the man, right? So the Gauls in this year of 52 BC finally got together. The barbarians always, didn't get together. They fought separately. So a guy by the name of Vercingetorix put them all together.
Vincent Geterick?
Not Vincent Geterick.
I was going to say, for 52 BC, that's an unusual name.
Vincent Geterick. No, Vercingetorix. That's it. Vercingetorix.
Okay.
Tommy.
Maybe
Vercingetorix. That's his name, Vercingetorix. Vincent
Vin-
Geterick. He was on The Sopranos, remember? He played Tony's cousin.
I remember.
Remember Vincent?
Yeah,
Vers-
Vinny. Cousin Vinny.
Vinny. Tommy, stop it. Vercingetorix. Okay, that's his name. So, Vercingetorix is a decent military guy. So he comes up with this plan, right? So he goes and they fight a little bit, and then he wants Caesar to follow. Now, Caesar is a maniac. He thinks he can do anything in the world. So he goes after him. So Vercingetorix takes his Gauls and his army, and they go up on the top of this big mountain. It's a giant mountain, and he's up on the top. And he says, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to starve these guys out. This is true, exactly true, because I read this. It took them 6 weeks to build a barrier around the bottom of this big mountain, right? So Vercingetorix up there, Caesar sit down here. He says, we're going to starve them. We're going to get them. So Vercingetorix was pretty smart. Before he went up the mountain, he split his army in half. Now they're out there waiting because they wanted to do a pincer move on Caesar, okay? So Caesar scouts, whatever they did, here comes the Gauls from the other side. So Caesar builds another wall. This is just all true. I swear it's all true. Another wall around. And his guys built it because all Roman soldiers were engineers, or they were very good at engineering. So here you are. Got Caesar, 2 walls, the Gauls, and more Gauls. They all had Gaul.
Yeah.
And then Mercedes-Benz. Remember the Gaul doors?
The Gauls over
Whoa!
Those Gauls. Seagulls were there
The
too.
Seagulls. That was that band in the 80s. Yeah. All right, where am I now?
They had Caesar
okay.
sandwich.
Yeah. So
Well, who was starving who out here though?
well, I don't know. Now by now, Caesar's just as bad off as the guys upstairs.
Okay.
Now, altogether, there's 250,000 gulls, and Caesar was outnumbered 4 or 5 to 1. Outnumbered, right? So they started going at it. Now, I got to give Caesar this. Now the Romans are getting it from both ends. What Caesar would do would wear this big red cape, and he'd go and fight in the trenches with his men.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd go and fight, right? And it inspired his men. The Romans were disciplined tactically. They were light years ahead of the Gauls. And Vincent Getterick, whatever his name is.
Cousin Vinny.
Yes, Getterick. You know who his mother was?
Who?
Mrs. Getterick.
Oh.
Anyway, make a long story short,
And I bet his father was
Mr. Getterick.
Mr. Getter.
Yeah. Anyway, make a long story short, Caesar actually defeats these guys. He beats them. Now, he takes Vercingetorix back to Rome. Okay, this was a custom back then. When the Romans beat somebody, they take their gold, their money, everything, but they take the leaders back and they parade them around. So he takes Vercingetorix back to Rome, does some bad things, and Vercingetorix, he don't live here no more. He's gone, right?
Yeah.
The name
So
of
what
the
do they do? They chop his head off?
No, actually, they had a machine, and they'd strangle you. And they'd
With a
strangle
machine?
Honest to God, yeah, in public, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a guillotine?
No, it was like a rope thing, and they just, Yeah.
That was a strangle machine.
Yes, a strangle machine. Yeah. And Vincent Getterick, but anyway, make a long story short.
It was the Getterick machine.
That's
I
it.
remember that from history class.
And you know where they got it from? Rick Springfield. Get it, Rick? Oh, this is getting bad.
You better continue with your story.
Let me try some of this coffee.
I think you had too much of that coffee. That's the problem.
All right, I'm done now. Make a long story short, the name of the place in Gaul was Alecia. So
It's a beautiful name.
I love that word, Alecia, and it's like.
Do we know what it means exactly?
No, I have no idea. But it's still there. You can go there, and it's huge.
And it's in France?
Yes. Yeah.
Alecia, France.
But Alecia, there's like a dichotomy. I mean, that's a horrible thing happened there. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to make the music a little haunting. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
People
beauty
have
of
to.
the word is what you're focusing on, right?
Yes.
Beauty
Yeah.
of the word.
But it just came from such a nasty place.
Well, that happens.
And antiquity, don't ever go there. Don't go to antiquity. It was terrible back there.
I've been to Antiquity a few times.
Oh.
Hey, your bass.
Yeah.
Now that bass,
Mhm.
and I'm not going to tell you how much it cost. Now that
No, we
bass
don't.
cost more than my house
No, get out of here.
and my kid.
Tommy,
all
no,
combined.
don't.
Now show everybody the bass. It's an absolutely magnificent
This
instrument.
is called a Fodera Matt Garrison Standard. It's a 5-string bass. And what's nice, Tommy, and what's allowed me to do this song, it's 5 strings. Now, the older 5 strings, the bottom was the B, okay? They didn't have this high C. It was, what is that? G, D, A, E, B. This is reversed, so it's E, A, D, G, C. And
C?
Yeah, this is a C.
Huh.
And that's, this
Well,
bass...
it's like a guitar up to here.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's designed for more, melodies, chording, all that stuff. And that's what it really opened up a lot of stuff. Ecto Perfecto was the first song I played on this. It's like a Latin thing, and I'm all over the C string, and it records well.
Now that C string, does that kind of throw? Did you have to kind of learn?
I actually,
How
Tommy, I did a foolish thing when I bought this bass. I read about them for years. I heard them. I went on the internet, explored everything, heard demos, called the factory. It's made in Brooklyn, New York. That's why I wrote this thing. But I bought this at Penny's.
You mean to tell me you spent that kind of money on a bass and they didn't even send you a T-shirt?
They didn't send me nothing. I want an endorsement. They wouldn't give me nothing.
Did you ask for an endorsement? Well, you should.
I'm gonna. Well, once I get some cred, if I get a little more cred,
Hey, wow, hey, Bass Player Magazine, how much more credit
I
do you want?
I did email the guy. He told me they got it. He saw it. This guy, Phil Zuckerman, who works for Fodera up there.
Okay.
But
Dora?
Fodera. I'm sorry. It's Fodera, but it's pronounced Fodera. At
You
least
got a
that's
red
what
light over there, by the way. You got a red light going on there? Okay.
But anyway, I got lost again.
No, go ahead. Your bass.
Oh yeah,
And the C string.
The C string, and the first song was Ecto Perfecto, and it's like this Latin jazzy thing, and I'm all over the C string, and it really, really just, I just fell in love with this thing, and like I said, I never played one of these. I never played one, but I said I'm an old man, I'm gonna take a chance. Columbus took a chance; he discovered America.
when he was an old man.
And he was old man. So I'm still good shape.
How old a man was he?
I have no idea. But he wasn't related to Vercingetorix. He was related to Vincent Getorix.
No, Vincent.
Yeah,
Vincent. So Columbus was connected to cousin Vinny.
Everybody's connected. It's like Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. The Kevin 6 degrees of
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Which is different, a little different from 6 degrees of Macon Bacon.
Macon Bacon. Yeah. Or what's that dog stuff? Bacon. Bacon.
Bacon bits.
Bacon bits.
My puppies love that stuff. Oh yeah. Let's get back to the.
So anyway, I never played this. Right now, I'm talking to this guy Phil Zuckerman. He was a good salesman. He was tough. He knew he had it, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, it has to be low action. I said, I play light. I don't slap. I don't need to slap. I play light. I need a lot of. I just need it low. I want the action low. And I said, I don't want the neck to warp because my last Fender jazz bass, which I still love a jazz bass, the neck was just. It was a bolt on. It was all over the place, bowing and all that stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Guy says, this won't bow. I said, okay, let me think about it. Thought about it. I bought it, right? So I sent them the money, and they sent me the bass. May 25th, biggest day of my life. Right? So the guy gives me the bass. Here comes the bass in the case in a big box. I opened the bass up, and I went, oh, God, please don't let me have made a mistake. And I picked it up, Tommy, and it was like it was handmade for me. I swear, man. It took me a little bit to get used to the C, you know, and to the wider neck.
Yeah.
And the strings are closer than a jazz bass. But I got it now. I'm hip.
Yeah, it's a great sounding bass.
Oh, yeah. We just did this.
But you got to find out what that noise is.
I know. It's a little bit of a buzz in there. Yeah.
There's a buzz in there that's kind of.
I'm sure that
disconcerting at times.
It's probably somewhere that I got it, the way I have it set.
It could be.
It's because this, you know, it's got the.
Or there's a polarity problem in one of the switches, perhaps.
I'm gonna say it's the way I got it set.
Call Zuckerman up and
Zuckerman.
Whatever. What's his name?
Phil.
My
man, Phil. Yeah.
Phil Zuckerman. Is that it? Phil Zuckerman.
It's Phil Zuckerman.
Phil. I know
Phil
you're not
at Fodera.
one, but
Phil at Fodera. Fodera Phil.
Fodera Phil. I'm going to send you this show so you can watch the show because it's kind of like a plug for you guys in Brooklyn for the basses.
Tommy.
And Phil, I want you to take care of my man because he's got a buzz in that bass. So
I'm getting a buzz right now. Tommy, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Get a little copy. I'll email him, say, give me your address. I'm going to send this to you.
Yeah. Because we did a great plug for
That's
that.
right.
You know, what the heck?
Phil.
Hey, we want an endorsement, by the way. Not just Mark, but I want
he gets
a Fodera endorsement too.
Yeah. Hey, if we end up doing this, he's going to die. He's going to say these guys are nuts.
He'll get fired.
He'll sue me.
Yeah, he might come after us.
No.
Django. Django, and everybody else, and Cousin Vinny. Right. They all might come after us. Come to Youngstown. Hey. But, so what do you do in your leisure time when you're not bass playing and at the studio and doing all those wonderful things?
I hang around with you.
A little bit.
Yeah. You and Bambi, we hang around.
You're a runner?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I run.
You run every day?
Well, I walk and run. You know, I don't run all the time. I lift, walk, I just kind of stuff like that. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, since I got that bass, I play that bass 2-3 hours every day.
Yeah.
I just like it. And I got that little, you never saw my little new amp, that little Mark bass amp. Mark bass amp, made in Italy.
Wow.
And the combination.
Well, you know, doesn't my bass player have a Mark? I think he's got a Mark.
I don't know.
Okay.
I know. Did he still have that Warwick, or did he get his Precision?
No, he's still playing the Precision. Yeah. He says he has the Warwick, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that bass and this bass, they got preamps in them, and so you can either run passive or active. That's why I think that buzz. I think it's the way I have it set. I don't think it's the bass. And you know what this guy was telling me yesterday? I was up at the Guitar Center, and I don't know what his name was. He's the manager, but he has high-end basses. He said these strings, okay, they're pretty expensive. They last a year or two. He goes, just keep them dry. You know how strings are.
I've had strings on my guitar for about 4 years. They're starting to rust.
You know the guy in the Doors? He had his strings on for 6 years, I heard. And the worse they got, the more he liked them.
Wow.
Well, he played with Jim Morrison. What's that tell you?
Well, yeah. I worked with a bass player one time, and many years ago, more than I care to mention, and he welded. He thought by welding his machine heads down,
whatever, they'd stay in tune.
Yeah, that's what he thought. So he actually welded his machine heads. He tuned his bass once. Took his bass to a shop and told the guy to weld all his machine heads. And he totally lost it when the bass went out of tune. He said, "What do I do now?" New bass. Sorry.
Oh, God. That's musicians.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what else?
Nothing, man. Just, I went and saw my mother.
How is she?
She's doing great, thank you. My mother is, I'm not going to say how old she is, but she lives with my sister in Maryland.
Okay.
That's where all this Bambo stuff started, in Maryland, thanks to my sister.
Yeah.
And we had a nice time there. And then this past weekend, my brother-in-law had a family reunion here in town, and they all come in, and we just had a great weekend. That's all.
Fantastic.
Everything's good.
What more can you ask? Great family,
Thank
wonderful bass.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that guy right there, Tommy, after 43 years of playing, I hear what I want to hear. That's the truth.
And if you ever want to buy a crib, you could trade your bass.
I could probably get a vet with that bass.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would think
an
so.
older one, but
Yeah.
No, I just thought about it, and I said,
I think that bass was a vet at one time. It was converted from a Corvette to a Fodera.
Well,
You put some wheels on that puppy dog, and you could sell your car.
See that butterfly? I love that butterfly. Hey, we're going to send this to you, Phil. When you see this, Phil, and don't be suing us or nothing.
Yeah. We gave you a great plug.
Don't sue us, Phil. Wait a minute. Hello? I don't want to talk to him.
How'd you hear that ringing? You got good ears.
Yeah, it's invisible.
Oh.
It's Paul McCartney.
Again?
He wants to talk.
Now what's he want?
He wants to talk.
No, I don't want to talk to him.
You don't want to talk to him?
No more.
Put John Lennon on.
He had his chance. Do you want to get one shot, Paul? Sir Paul, I should say. Sir Paul.
Yeah. In a sense, too, with McCartney, he's just not a performer, or he's an icon. People just go to see him. Sir Paul. Yeah. He changed the world.
Yeah. Musically speaking.
Yeah, right, yeah. I was listening to I Will today on the internet, Rare Beatles, whatever, and it was one of the original, his work tapes.
Yeah.
It's just great. He doesn't need anything, just him and a guitar, and the guy was gifted. You don't learn that. God gives that to you.
Sure.
That kind of stuff.
Sure. They were when they were in their prime. They were.
Oh, 100,000 years from now, they'll be listening to the Beatles. Yeah. Where me and you will be.
100,000 years, we won't even be a mist of a memory.
We won't even be dust.
Yeah.
We'll be
long gone dust, and we will have not left a mark. Well, you were published in bass player, so you've left your mark on history.
Whatever. I'll tell you what, though, I enjoy playing on your stuff, and I'm always there. I
appreciate it.
You got it.
It's wonderful to have wonderful players on.
Great tune, Sugar. Great song, Tommy.
Thank you.
Great beat, nice groove. I was trying to do like a Jamerson thing on it, and it lent itself to it. Kind of heavy on.
And you did too. You play some fine parts.
Thank you.
Appreciate
fun
that.
song to play to. It takes both ways.
Well, Mark, thanks for coming by,
Tommy.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching. You've been watching Tommy Chris TV with Bambo Kino, Pammy John production, and we'll see you next time. Stay tuned.
Check it out. I think you're really going to like it.